Dr. R. Tyagarajan, Director R&D Vedic Sciences and Astrology. He is the visiting professor of Jaffna University. Dr. R. Tyagarajan is the former professor and head of the postgraduate and research department of Sanskrit, Presidency College, Chennai. His specialization is in Sahitya, Yakarana, Alankara, Nyaya, and Jyotisha. He has guided 80 MPhil students so far. He has presented 108 Ratnadipika Sanskrit programs in Doordarshan, Madras. He has been recognized as the Man of the Year for 1999 and 2000 by the American Biological Institute for his peerless service to humanity. He chaired the Religion and Philosophy session in the All India Oriental Conference held at Madras. There are also a few textbooks prepared by him. They are Samskrita Vani, Samskrita Manjari Part 1 and 2, Kala Sala Pathamala, Kumara Sambhava Canto 3 and 6. He has also translated the Kritis of Muthuswami Dikshitar Carnatic Sahitya Kara into English and Tamil. He has also recited Sanskrit devotional lyrics and mantras and brought out 160 CDs and 5 DVDs, which is a record break. I would also like to mention some of his books. In Sanskrit, Saradamba Karittam, Shiva Bhujanga Vyakya. In English, Didactic Fables from Upanishads, Hindu Samskaras. And in Tamil, Mana Unjal, Kalviyum Kadamayum, and more other books. It's indeed a great pleasure for us to have you today with us, sir. We welcome you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Afifa. I request our resource person, sir, to start this digital juncture with Fruitful. Please, sir.
Thank you. Namaste. You want me to just speak in English or Tamil? Anyone is hearing? Am I audible?
Sir, you are audible, sir.
You want me to speak in English or Tamil?
Sir, I think looking at the way the students have spoken so far, I thought English would be better.
Very good. Right. Indeed, I am happy to be with you all on this sacred day, Shravana Purnima, when usually Sanskrit Day is conducted. And rightly on this evening, we are having a topic, Sanskrit and Science. And the host happens to be this college. And at the outset, I thank all the people who are connected to this organizing of this webinar on science and Sanskrit. Especially to Mrs. Durga Devi, who happens to be the lecturer there, who has invited me, who happened to be my student also. And to all the students who have, with all their enthusiasm, participating in this webinar. And the correspondent, the principal, the coordinator of this program, and all the other staff members, and all those who are attending this program, I heartily thank and also appreciate their spirit of participation. Generally, when we talk about Sanskrit, people have a lot of misconceived notions. They say it is not a spoken language. But we must know, as a preamble, I'm just giving you some information about Sanskrit as a spoken language and its importance also, briefly, and then I go on to the main subject science and Sanskrit. You must know it was a link language also. For an evidence, in Sri Harsha's Naishadha, Harsha belonged to 12th century AD. There is a clear reference to the kings who came to attend the Swayambara of Damayanti, were discussing within themselves in Sanskrit. The thing is that all those who have come from various parts of the country thought that Damayanti is so intelligent that she can easily gauge when we speak in our vernacular. Not only that, the participants in the Swayambara happened to be Indra, Varuna, and other devas also, Agni, Yama, and others. So even devas were conversant in Sanskrit. Hence it is called Deva Bhasha also. So this information of conversing in Sanskrit justifies that Sanskrit was a spoken language and a living language. Anyonya Bhasha Anavabodhana Bitehe Samskritrimabihi Evahara Vastu Digbyaha Sameteshu Nripeshu Teshu Savargavargo Najanair Achinni. The kings who participated included devas, and they were discussing, speaking between themselves in Sanskrit. Then you'll go on to the influence of Sanskrit on other languages. Very important, because people think that Sanskrit can be dispensed with. No, cannot be. Most of the Indian languages have more than 60% Sanskrit words. This apart, Iranian and the languages spoken in northern part of Russia have more similarities to Sanskrit. Russia is connected to rishis. Why? Even California is Kapilaranya according to ancient geography. So Sanskrit is the oldest and richest, which is the storehouse of philosophical and scientific knowledge and wisdom. Now, let us have some faith and confidence that this language has got a great fit, because great persons have spelled their views on Sanskrit. A few versions of great persons I am just giving you very shortly. Sanskrit and culture go together, said Swami Vivekananda. Mahatma Gandhi said, Sanskrit is like river Ganga for our languages. If it were to dry up, the regional languages also would lose their vitality and power. According to Jawaharlal Nehru, the most valued of our legacies will be the Sanskrit language. That's what he said. Dr. Ambedkar, the lawmaker, argued that Sanskrit is the most suitable language that could be made the official language of India. Dr. Radhakrishnan says Sanskrit has embodied the genius and wisdom of our race. And in this preamble, we go on to the main topic, Sanskrit and science. When we talk about Sanskrit and science, we cannot just ignore the Vedas. From Vedas only, Sanskrit emanated. Therefore, all things we talk about Sanskrit has got its own background from the Vedas. In short, anything Indian is traced to Vedas. Now we are going to talk about science. The gravitation theory. We will go on the gravitation theory first. The gravitational forces between matter and energy, planets, stars, galaxies, and even light, etc., are mentioned in the Vedas. The first and the foremost supplier of information in the world is Veda. Many Rigvedic mantras talk about gravitation. Here is an example from Yajurveda. Krishnena rajasa vartamano niveshayan amrutam atyancha kiranmayena savita ratena devo yati bhuvanani pashyan. The sun, air, and other celestial things move out of gravitational force. Regarding this gravitational force, I think only recently, that is Isaac Newton found out only after our Shastras. Not only that, the modern principle is that the earth has got its own gravitation. True. And because of that, nothing will fall. The apple falling from the tree is not only out of the gravitational force, but our Shastra says, according to the principle, that the object also should have weight, otherwise it will fly away. So, it is stated, Adya Padana Samavai Gurutvam. A step further, they had gone even earlier. Then with regard to the electricity and magnetism, scientific evidences are found in Vedas regarding electricity, magnetism, and formation of water, etc. A detailed description can be read in the book Science in Vedas, written by Professor Hansraj Agarwal of Ludhiana, published in the year 1956. Just I am giving you, because the time is short, I am not going to take more time. Therefore, I am just showing you. This book contains, I think you are able to read, I think. So the Science in Vedas gives you how the Vedas have enough references to electricity and magnetism. Then we talk about Big Bang theory. Puranas have stated already that the creation started from Mahat, the great atom. Modern scientific theories developed recently on creation is almost similar to the concept of Puranas. According to scientists, the reverberation of the exposition of sound, there is sound energy, the creations started. This is somewhat similar to the theory of emanation of Brahman with the sound Om, Pranava. Then the knowledge of atom. See, we had the knowledge of atom even in the Vedic days. Anu, Paramanu, etc. were well known to our Vedic seers. Anoraniyan, Magato Mahiyan is the description of Brahman, the source of creation. So, they were aware of micro atoms. Then, we'll switch on to the time of the universe. Our ancient scientists, otherwise called as rishis, have calculated the time from even time immemorial. Today, even today, while performing puja, etc., we are familiar with the fingertip information of time. Adya Brahmanaha Dvitiye Pararde Vaivasvatamanvantare Attavinshitame Kaliyuge Prathame Bhadepade Jambudvipe Bharata Varshe Bharatakande Meroho Dakshine Parsve Sakabde Asmin Vartamane Vyavaharike प्रभवादि षष्ट्याः संवत्सराणां मध्ये चार्वरी नाम संवत्सरे दक्षिणा ग्रीष्म ऋतौ कटकमासे शुक्लपक्षे पौर्णमास्यां शुभतिथौ उत्तराषाढ़ा नक्षत्र युक्तायां, like that we have all the details from right from this birth of Brahman, or rather I won't call it as birth, from the emanation of Brahman till date. We are having everything, the entire history is in our hand. Then we are talking about 4 yugas. We have the calculation of 4 yugas, namely Krita Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, and Kali Yuga, and their cyclic formations. How every yuga is calculated with some numbers of years. Thus, Krita Yuga period is calculated as 17,28,000 years. Treta Yuga 12,96,000 years. Dwapara Yuga 8,64,000 years. Kali Yuga 4,32,000 years. The combination of 4 yugas is 43,020,000 years. 43,20,000 years. As I told you, we are in the 28th cycle of these 4 yugas, and this yuga began exactly 5,121 years ago, and still 4,26,879 years remain to end. Then we have got references about lokas and talas, and each loka is connected to some tattva or colors also. References to saptalokas, that is, we can call it as 7 universes above the earth. The Sanskrit texts are talking about it: 7 upper lokas, 7 lower lokas, totaling to 14 lokas. They are Bhuloka, Borloka, Swarloka, Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka, Satyaloka, etc. And Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Mahatala, Rasatala, Atala are the lower lokas, according to lower lokas. According to a study, South America, Canada, California are in Patala Loka. This justifies the shape of earth found already by our seers. Prithvi, Up, Agni, Vayu, Akasha, Ahankara, and Mahat are the tattvas or principles attached to them. So also every universe in the united different color with different colors. Now we shall go on to the expansion of the universe. A few years ago, some Westerner has found out and has said that the world or the universe is expanding. This was much hailed as the greatest finding. But unfortunately, we have forgotten that Brahman is a term derived from the root Br Vistare, denotes the ever expanding universe. The matter, space, spirit, source of hydrogen and oxygen, what is galaxy, what is universe, how the planets are formed, etc. are all dealt with in the book Modern Science and Veda Shastras, written by S. Balasubramaniam of Chennai. This book gives details regarding the secondary creations such as immobiles, animals, gods and divine beings, superhuman beings, all these things after the creation of the terrestrial region. Now, with regard to astronomy, there are a lot of books on astronomy. We will talk about solar energy now. The sun is the source of energy. They have already found out. This fact was well known to Vedic rishis. Here is a reference from Taittiriya Aranyaka. Enema Vishwa. The mantra starts like that. The sun is discovered as the center of solar system. Taittiriya Samhita says, Mitro Datara Prithvi Mudadjam Mitraha Krishtihi. The sun holds the earth and the celestial region. The sun is the attracting power of the heavenly bodies. Then we have been thinking that whether the planets are moving in a circular way or an elliptical way. See, Western scientists up to 16th century believed that the planets and other celestial bodies had circular orbits. Only in 1609, Johannes Kepler said it is elliptical. But in Rigveda, the Rigveda says, path through which all the celestial bodies move is elliptical. Trinabi Chakram Ajaram Anarva Yatrema Vishwa Bhuvanani Tastuhu. Then, with regard to the planetary motion, Aryabhatta recorded the clockwise and anti-clockwise motion of the planets in 5th century AD, long before Johannes Kepler, who discovered this in 17th century. Kaksha Pratimandalaga Brahmanti Sarve Grahaha Sacharena Mandochadan Anulomam Pridiloma Chaiva Shigrochat. This is from Aryabhatiya. Then cause of eclipse. Aryabhatta demystified eclipse long ago. He said, Chadayati Shashi Suryam Shashinam Mahati Cha Bhuchaya. The moon covers the sun and the great shadow of the earth covers the moon. Then, with regard to the orbiting planets, the text Siddhanta Shiromani mentions the orbiting planets and the concept of gravitation. It says massive celestial bodies are attracted powerfully towards the earth. But when equal forces act in space, they remain without falling. That is the reason the sun, moon, and others have not fallen down. They have their magnetic force in between them, and equally they are powerful. Akrishti Saktischa Mahitaya Swastam Guru Swabhimukam Swasatya Akrishyate Tat Patati Bhati Same Samantat Patatviyam Khe. The astronomical instrument, they have, our ancestors had all the astronomical instruments that had been recorded in Sanskrit. The Siddhanta Shiromani mentions further the astronomical instruments used by astronomers. Bhaskaracharya describes a yantra called Nadi Valaya Yantra, Shankhu Yantra, etc. Then there are references to comets. Ancient scientists had full knowledge of comets. They are called Dhumaketus. They have numbered the comets. That is important. Brihad Vimana Shastra says that in the 8th region of the sky, there are about 3 crores 7 lakhs 3,220 comets. Banasta Dhumaketunam Mandalasya Attamantare Trikoti Sapta Laksha Trisahasra Dvishatopari Ekavimsati Sankhyaakaha Vartante Dhumaketavaha. Among the comets, 8,000 are very fierce. 12 out of these 8 are again highly powerful. Ancient seers already mentioned that the moon is a satellite. The Yajurveda, Taittiriya Samhita, and Rigveda say that the moon, being the satellite of the earth, revolves around its mother planet and follows in it its evolution around the self-luminous planet, the sun. Ayam Gauhu Krishni Rakramite Asadan Mataram Puraha Pitarancha Prayantuha. Regarding the circumference, before that, we are talking about the moon. There is a question whether there is water in the moon or not, and for which sake we are taking lot of experiments to go to moon and then try to find out whether there is water. But our Vedas say there is water. Yo apam ayatanam veda ayatanaman bhavati. That means what? If one understands that the moon has got water, then he is always prosperous. So that means what? If he has a scientific knowledge about it, that is good, he said. That means the water is available there. Not only that, the Shastras also come to hand to substantiate this view. In Tarkashastra it is said, the nature of water is coolness. Sheetasparshavati apaha. Okay, how it is related to moon? Because the moon is referred to as Sheetamshu. Where there is chillness, there must be water. So such findings, the cross references will justify that our ancient people had very good knowledge of the science. We now move on to physics. Regarding the speed of light, Rigveda says that the sun quickly pervades the whole world. Tatacha, it is remembered that the sunlight travels 2,202 yojanas, approximately 19,818 miles in half a minute. Taranir Vishwadarshato Joshkudasi Surya Vishwamabhasi Rochanam, and for which Sayana gives an explanation. Tatacha Smarite Yojananam Sakasram Dve Sate Dvecha Yojane Ekena Nimshardene Karmamana Namostute. Then with regard to the origin of matter, with regard to the origin of matter and other elements, they have in the Vedas, they have just studied and then they have recorded it. Tasmat, Taittiriya Upanishad says, Tasmat va etasmat atmana akashaha sambhutaha akashad vayuhu vayor agnihi agner apaha adya prithvivyam oshdeha. It goes like that. From that absolute space time came from which wind came, from wind fire came, from fire water came, from water the earth came, and so on. Thus, we have got a lot of information on chemistry, wherein chemical laboratories are discussed, the distillation, how they distilled the chemical properties, flame test, corrosion loss on heating, extraction of mercury, salts, explosives, etc. And when we are talking about mercury in the Rasayana Shastra, I remember that there is a text called Dattatreya Tantra. It is not an ordinary puja or the text for worship. In Dattatreya Tantra, of course, there is also another work meant for puja purposes. But this Dattatreya Tantra refers to the manufacturing of gold sitting at home, keeping the ingredients very well known to us and available around us. So, such things are also found out in the Rasayana Shastra. And of course, we need not much elaborate nowadays that this Rasayana Shastra helps a lot with regard to Ayurveda and the proper mixture of various ingredients are helping us to get away from the disease corona. Then with regard to metallurgy, the purification of metals, and then metals and alloys, extraction of pure metal, loss during heating of gold, where from this gold comes, they have found out. The mining, how is it? The bronze, brass quality, bell metal, lead, classification of iron. Not only classification, they have above all, they have just said that iron has got very good medical property, medicinal property, and the process done helps the mankind to develop iron content in them in order to develop a good health. And with regard to the gold also, they've said that gold is very, very important. It cures diseases also at times. It increases the tejas in the body. Therefore, they say that gold is very, very important. And gold, even if it is heated, will not lose the weight of it. Now, with regard to mathematics, we all know the zero was invented by our Indians and recorded in Sanskrit texts. And also, the astronomical texts also talk about zero. And the Upanishads also talk about zero. Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudichyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasichyate. 0 plus 0 is equal to 0. 0 minus 0 is equal to 0. 0 divided by 0 is 0. Such concept has been mentioned in single verse. Of course, it talks about philosophy also and science also. So, Sanskrit contains jnana and vijnana. So, jnanam vijnana sahitam is the dictum that we can attribute it to Sanskrit. And then large and small numbers. Of course, a big list is there. Due to the want of time, I'm just rushing up with the information that I am feeding. Anybody who is interested can go through certain books that are available talking about science and Sanskrit. Then the square and cube roots, they have already said. With regard to geometry, the Pythagoras theorem is not a new thing. This has been already there in our ancient texts. In the Sulba Sutra, we have got all these calculations, the theorem, etc., the area of triangle, everything has been dealt with. And based on that only, people have just built so many temples, etc. The Sulba Sutra is just the beginning, and it had been developed by later astronomers. And then trigonometry, which we call it as trigonometry. And then geometry. These are all the terms that we use in Sanskrit. Then with regard to medicines, we have got 8 branches of Ayurveda. Then in which you have got treatment as well as education on pathology, 3 doshas, Vata, Kapha, Pitta and all. And then embryology, how the embryo starts, how it develops. All this, there is one Upanishad called Garbhopanishad, wherein you will find all these information where how it starts, the embryo, how it develops, how much time it takes within the womb, and when it comes out, and when is actually there is another Upanishad which is talking about how the life is entering into the body. It enters through the toe of everybody, and the Atma enters through the Sahasrara over our head. So these are all the things, minute things they have already studied. The blood flow, blood circulation, heart diseases, they have already studied. And these heart diseases, of course, Charaka Samhita Susruta Samhita, all things talk on medicinal lines, but on Mantra Shastra line also. Bhaskara, not the Bhaskaracharya of mathematics. He is Bhaskara, a tantric man who has cured the disease by chanting mantra from the Rig Veda. This is a particular mantra, and the methodology is called as Tricha Bhaskaram. So, Mani, Mantra, Aujada also had been dealt with in Sanskrit, and they have been successful in curing diseases also. And with regard to the eyes, you have got the iris. Different sections have been dealt with. That means they were aware, even the minutest part of the eye. Then with regard to plastic surgery, it is well known. People have already said plastic surgery is well known and certified by or are accepted by the modern medicinal person, medical doctors. And then intestinal surgery, kidney stone removal, test tube baby. Of course, for an ordinary person, we can say that the birth of Drona or the Kauravas. This can be attributed to the test tube baby, etc. Of course, it needs to be discussed. Then iron as medicine, we have already said, and then medicinal use of air, very, very important. That's why we always instruct everyone to go in for pranayama. Then pulse test, Nadi Shodhana, that is also there. Then medicinal plants, right from Tulasi, Vilbam, etc. They are all highly helpful for the very good health, maintenance of good health. Then with regard to botany, you have got classification of plants and photosynthesis, grafting, tree care, diseases and treatment of trees, plants respond to light. That is important. See, in Vriksha Ayurveda, we say the plants respond to light. When there is, if you are having a plant in your house, if you switch on the bulb, then it reacts. And then trees respond to smell also. Trees can hear. We are all under the impression that we can alone hear. Trees can hear. Trees feel the touch. And it has the consciousness also. That's why the trees remember you when you are watering the plants. And it reacts also. If you observe, you will know. Then with regard to agriculture, you got the methodology and the process of creating seedless fruits and vegetables. Pesticides, art of rain making, how to create rain. Not only that, it is out of the chemical combination, but also through mantras, the Vedic mantras, by chanting Varuna Sukta and all. Then rain forecast, because even an ordinary person in the village will say that there is going to be rain because the east is dark now. So by finding the flow of the clouds, people will identify. And these things are already stated in the Vedas. And with regard to the forest, what type of forest it is, what type of trees can grow or had grown in this forest. These things are discussed in the Vriksha Ayurveda. Then with regard to the art and culture, you have got the dance, drama, everything stated in Bharatanatyam, Natya Shastra. The musical instruments, what are the various instruments that are used for the harmonious blending of song and music, etc. And then Saptaswara. You always say that Samaveda happens to be the source for the Saptaswara. Sa, Ri, Ga, Ma, Pa, Da, Ni, Sa. Then various emotions. Not only the Shringara, Hasya, Karuna, Veera, Raudra, Bhayanaka, Vibhasa, Adbhuta, Shanta, all these things are minutely studied how a person reacts, what are the reactions, what is his mental quality, what is his psychology. All these things are studied and described in Sanskrit texts. And then we need not say, because it has become popular now, that yoga of Patanjali, asanas, kriyas, bandhas, mudras, etc. are being discussed. And then we've got geography. We have got, when you say Hindustan, when you say Bharat, when you say Jambudvipa, and when you say Bharata Varsha, what are all the areas they denote? These things are discussed in the Puranas. Almost our Bharata Varsha covers the entire Asia. So Afghanistan and other areas are once upon a time, long ago, were part and parcel of India. Then we are talking about Vastu Shastra. Of course, it has become popular now. Everyone wants to check the Vastu of his house, etc. This Vastu Shastra is prevalent, and in temple architecture and other novel architecture, we are just following in the Vastu Shastra, which is more scientific. And then brick making, land valuation, etc. also we discussed in Vastu Shastra. Then weaponry. We need not say there are a lot of weapons available, and those weapons were wielded by our ancient people, kings. And in this context, I would like to say that there were weapons, just like nuclear weapons during Mahabharata days. And Salva, a king, was wielding the weapons, which you cannot identify where from it comes and where it hits, what is the hitting point. So these are all the mystical way of dealing with astras and shastras. And the astras are mere weapons, and shastras are the weapons aimed with the help of mantras also. So many things on scientific factors are discussed in that. And people nowadays talk about a computer, television, whether television, computer, everything is available or not in Sanskrit. And these are all the new findings, creations. See, the basic element is there. From 5 elements, everything can be created. And we are given the intellect, and we are creating. But these creations are, according to our philosophy, these are all fleeting creations. Today it will be there, tomorrow it may not be there. That's why it is called Maya. Therefore, we are all in this situation, but at the same time, I would like to just say that these principles are informed about the battlefield, just sitting in the royal palace. That means what? A person, just like looking at the TV, he has been describing everything to Dhritarashtra. So there are possibilities that the science, these different kinds of sciences known to our ancestors 5,000 years ago might have, due to some reason or other, or probably due to the Great War, the knowledge had gone off, and now we are again reconstructing. And India is not lacking in anything, but unfortunately, the texts that were written in Sanskrit, especially the theories of the scientific factors, are available with us even now. But unfortunately, the technology, how to apply this theory, all these things are either lost or abducted by our people in abroad. One by one, they may come with the technology. So if you are aware of the technology, then you can make use of Sanskrit science knowledge and the scientific knowledge, and make this our bond highly prosperous. Few words, because The students are also going to participate and present their papers or present their views on science and Sanskrit. So allowing some time for them also. And also, I wanted to just find out how the present generation of students are looking at Sanskrit. Thank you for one and all for your patient hearing. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Now we will begin our oratorical competition. So first, I'll call upon Raji R to present his view on science and Sanskrit. Are you there?
Namaste. Are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Namaste, sir.
Yes. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Charitram hi veri vachedi paranamaja kelasya parita kamyayam sadyo jad dhamayasi vishpalayi dane hite sartheva pratyadattama. This is a mantra from Rigveda which depicts about the fixing of artificial legs. It has been an interesting story that a woman who fought in a war she has broken her two legs was broken. She sought help from the Ashwini Kumaras and they gave her legs of irons. Divi Surya Sahasrasya Bhave Dugdha Sadrishmasya Mahatmanaha. This is a shloka from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 11, verse 12, which explains about the radiant splendor of the mighty sun god Vivaswan, about the sunrise. And an interesting shloka from Brahmanda Purana, which this is one of my favorite shloka. When I studied this, I was too excited. Sarit Samruddha Bhaumastu Tatapaha Prani Sambhavaha Matushprakara Bhagavana Datte Savita Mune, and it describes about the evaporation and precipitation in Brahmanda Purana. So already been mentioned in our Itihasas, Puranas, Upanishads. Thank you. My name is Raji, sir. Raji R.
नमस्कारः मम नाम श्रवणा अहं यतिराज महाविद्यालये कार्यं कुर्वन्ती अस्मि तत्र संस्कृतं विज्ञानम् इति यदि स्वीकुर्मः संस्कृतं विज्ञानं मिलित्वा एव भविष्यति तत्र वेदः इति अस्माभिः इदानीम् एव स्वीकृत्य दृश्यते द्रष्टुं प्रयत्नं कुर्मः परन्तु संस्कृतं विज्ञानं सर्वदा मिलित्वा एव आसीत् इति वक्तुम् इच्छामि तत्र सर्वदा अस्माकं संस्कृतस्य साकं संस्कृतिः अपि आसीत् संस्कृतिः संस्कृतम् एवम् अस्माकं संस्कृतं यदि पश्यामः विज्ञानम् इति किं वचनीयं किमवचनीयं केवलं भाषा इति एव उक्त्वा it is cannot be considered just as a language that is used to communicate संस्कृतं सम्भाषणार्थं कश्चन विषयं वक्तुं भाषा इति वक्तुं न शक्नुमः यतोहि संस्कृते अस्माकं every dimension of life संस्कृते एव उक्तमस्ति सर्वम् एतत् सर्वमपि अस्माभिः इदानीमेव अस्माकं मुख्य अतिथि वचनेभ्यः अस्माभिः ज्ञातमस्ति संस्कृते किं नास्ति इति एव वयम् इदानीं चिन्तयामः किं नास्ति इति एव यतोहि सर्वं संस्कृते अस्ति इति अस्माकं मुख्य अतिथिवर्याः इदानीमेव उक्तवन्तः तत्र वयम् इदानीन्तन अद्यतन अवस्थाम् इति पश्यामः चेत् कोरोना इति बहु सर्वत्र इदानीं कोरोना इति एव श्रूयते तत्र अस्माकं आचार्याः वा मुनयः वा ऋषयः वा सर्वदा शौचम् इति विषये सर्वदा प्राधान्यं दत्तवन्तः इति अस्माभिः ज्ञातुं शक्यते शौच सन्तोष तपस्वाध्याय ईश्वर प्रणिधानानि इति अष्टाङ्गयोगे नियमे प्रथमं भवति शौचम् शौचं द्विविधं भवति, अन्तर्शौचं बाह्य शौचम् इति शौचं द्विविधं भवति इति अपि उक्तवन्तः। तत्र बाह्यशौचे कथं स्नानं करणीयं, कीदृशं स्नानं करणीयं, कदा कदा आचमनीयं करणीयं, कदा कदा जलस्य स्पर्शनं करणीयं, कथम् अस्माकं मलमूत्रविसर्जनात् आरभ्य कथं करणीयम् इति नियमः अपि अस्माकं उत्कृष्ट अस्माकं श्रेष्ठवर्येभ्यः पितामहेभ्यः दत्तमेव अस्ति। देवी पुराणे यदि देवी महाभारते महाभागवते यदि पश्यामः, एकादश स्कन्धे प्रथम द्वितीय अध्यायेषु सम्पूर्णं शौचस्य विषये एव दत्तमस्ति। सम्पूर्णं कथं शुचिः कश्चन कथं भवेत् इति दत्तमेव अस्ति। तत्रापि रक्तबीजः इति कश्चन राक्षसः अस्ति। पुनः पुनः तः रक्तात् प्रतिबीजात् सः उत्थितः भवति इति कश्चन राक्षसः अस्ति। तं राक्षसं देवी एव मारितवती इति पश्यामः। सः विषयः इदानीन्तन अवस्थायां यदि वयं योजयामः, वयं ज्ञातुं शक्नुमः तादृशः एव भवति कोरोना कश्चन राक्षसः। तं मारयितुम् इदानीम् अस्माकं संस्कृतिः पुनरानीतव्या। अस्माकं पुरातन संस्कृतिः शौचं शौचादि संस्कृतिः अस्माकं पुरातन धर्मं पुनः आनीतव्यम् इति एव वयम् इदानीं ज्ञातुं शक्नुमः। अस्माकं पितृवर्याः पितामहवर्याः किम् उक्तवन्तः तद् इदानीं वयं किञ्चित् चिन्तयित्वा तादृशविषये किञ्चित् अस्माकं मनांसि दत्वा तादृशविषये अस्माकं तद् पितामहः सर्वदा वदति मया किमर्थं पालनीयम् इति चिन्तनं विना इदानीं यदि आलोचनं कुर्मः तत् सर्वम् इदानीम् अस्माकं पुनः एकं चक्रमिव अस्माकं हस्ते आगच्छति इति वयं ज्ञातुं शक्नुमः। पितामहः वदति, मातामही वदति, गृहं बहिर्गत्वा प्रवेशनात् पूर्वं प्रक्षालयतु, हस्तं प्रक्षालयतु, पद्भ्याम् एवमेव मा आगच्छतु, वस्त्रपरिवर्तनं करोतु, एकवस्त्रम् एकवारम् एव धरतु, पुनः पुनः मा तमेव वस्त्रं मा धरतु इत्यादिकं विषयम् अस्माकं पितामहः मातामही यदि वदति तदा वयं न श्रुतवन्तः। इदानीं तु वयं तदेव श्रोतव्यम् इति कश्चन कृमिः वदति, एकः कृमिः वदति, इदानीं वयं शृणुमः। पितामहस्य वचनं न श्रुतवन्तः, इदानीं कृमेः वचनं श्रोतव्यम् इति।
अन्येषां कृते अपि अवकाशः दीयताम्।
अस्तु महोदय, धन्यवादः।
Thank you so much. Next, I'll call upon Ms. Anusha B to proceed.
धन्यवाद महोदय। नमस्ते, अनुषा वदामि। इदानीम् अस्माकं वेदानां चतुर्णामपि नयनभूतं ज्योतिषशास्त्रम् अस्ति। अतः यथामति ज्योतिषशास्त्रस्य विषये किञ्चित् वक्तुम् इच्छामि। निमिषद्वयम् इति उक्तवत्यः। ज्योतिषशास्त्रं केवलं होराशास्त्रम् अथवा जातकसम्बन्धिशास्त्रम् इति प्रथा अस्ति, तद् सत्यं न। ज्योतिषशास्त्रं तावत् वैज्ञानिकम् अस्ति। तत्र अङ्गभूतानि ग्रहशास्त्रं, होराशास्त्रं, गणितं, भूगोलः इत्यादि। तत्र अस्माकं भारते विद्यमानाः पञ्चशताब्देः क्रैस्तव पञ्चशताब्देः वैज्ञानिकाः आर्यभटः, ब्रह्मगुप्तः, वराहमिहिरश्च ख्यातिं प्राप्तवन्तः। गायत्री मन्त्रोच्चारण समयः सूर्योदयस्य 7 निमेषाः पूर्वम् इति वदन्ति। यतः सूर्योदयः भूमेः आलोकने आगतः, सूर्यः यदा भूमेः आलोकने आगतः तदा तस्य आगमनस्य 7 निमेषानन्तरमेव अस्माभिः सूर्यः द्रष्टुं शक्यः भवति। अतः सूर्यप्रकाशं भूमिगोचरं भवितुं 7 निमेषाः इति ज्ञात्वा सूर्योदयस्य 7 निमेषात् पूर्वमेव अस्माभिः गायत्री मन्त्रोच्चारणं कर्तव्यम् इत्यपि नियमः अस्ति इति श्रुतं मया। अतः इदानीमपि लैट् इयर् इति कृत्वा ज्योतिप्रसारणम् आधारं कृत्वा एव ग्रहाणां दूरम् आधुनिकाः वैज्ञानिकाः अपि मापयन्ति। एवं श्रूयते, वराहमिहिरः 1 वर्षं यावत् पर्यङ्के उषित्वा खं पश्यमानः आसीत् इति। एवं भूत्वा सः उत्थाय तस्य वैज्ञानिकशास्त्रं रचितवान् इत्यपि मया श्रुतमस्ति। अवकाशं दत्तवद्भ्यः महाविद्यालयजनेभ्यः मम धन्यवादान् उक्त्वा विरमामि। नमस्ते।
Thank you so much. Next, I'll call upon Gayatri Rangarajan from Madras University. Miss Gayatri, are you there?
Hello. Namaste, श्रूयते वा?
Chiranga.
Namaste.
Sweete,
Am
sweete.
I audible?
Vadatu.
नमस्ते सर्वेभ्यः. अहं मम नाम गायत्री. अहं मेड्रास् विश्वविद्यालयं मध्ये MA संस्कृतं पठन् अस्मि. संस्कृतभाषा सर्वासु भाषासु प्राचीनतमम् अस्ति इति वयं जानीमः. देवभाषा मातृभाषा इति बहवः नामाः सन्ति. सर्वेषां भाषाणां मूलम् अस्ति संस्कृतम्. विज्ञानस्य बीजमपि संस्कृतमेव. यत्किमपि विषयम् अस्ति, मनोविज्ञानं वा, ज्योतिषशास्त्रं वा, जीवशास्त्रं वा, गणितं वा, सङ्गीतम् उत नाट्यशास्त्रं, भरतमुनेः नाट्यशास्त्रम् अपि बहु प्रसिद्धं किल. सङ्गीतशास्त्रं, नाट्यशास्त्रं सर्वत्र संस्कृतस्य हेतुरूपप्रामुख्यं स्फुटतया भासते. कौटिल्यस्य अर्थशास्त्रे राज्यपरिपालनविषये क्षत्रियधर्मस्य विषये अपि अनेकानि अत्यन्तं विषयाः सन्ति. सङ्गणकयन्त्रे अपि संस्कृतस्य प्रयोजनम् अधिकं वर्तते. अपि च इवन् इन् आर्टिफिशियल् इंटेलिजेन्स् विषये अपि तस्य विचारणार्थं वैज्ञानिकाः संस्कृतस्य साहाय्यमेव स्वीकुर्वन्ति इति वयं जानीमः. अतः वयमपि संस्कृतस्य महत्त्वं मनसि स्थापयित्वा तस्य पालनार्थं किञ्चित् प्रवृत्तिं कुर्मः. धन्यवादः.
Thank you so much. Now I call upon Gayatri Gupta from Sri Kanyaka Parameshwari Arts and Science College. Gayatri Gupta? Gayatri Gupta, are you there? Gayatri Gupta? Can you hear me? Okay, next I'll call upon Gayatri from SDNB Vaishnav College to present their speech.
Sarvesham Namaskaraha. My topic is expounding the Sankalpa Mantra. We all know the Sankalpa Mantra, but there are so many theories that which we can relate to and understand from it. So I would like to actually expound it from the reverse order. We start from Shubha Karana, Shubha Yoga. Karana is the smallest time between the sun and the moon, and the yoga is the half of the lunar day. That is the whole day, 24 hours divided by 2 is the yoga. Then we have the nakshatra, which covers somewhat about a day and a little extra of the next day. And then we have the vasara and the tithi. The tithi is one among the days of the fortnight, and the vasara is one among the 7 days of a week. Before that is the paksha, or the 15 days or the fortnight. We have two pakshas, Shukla Paksha and Krishna Paksha, then the Masa or the 30 days month. Then we have the Ayana or the 6 months of a year, and then the Samvatsara or the year itself. We follow the Shaka year, which consists of a 60-year cycle, which when we multiply, we get the Yuga and the other bigger timing. So that is why we say Shakhabdya Vartamane Vyavaharike Prabhavadinam Samvatsaraha. Then till this we have related to some extent of time. Now time does not exist individually. We vary according to latitude and longitude, and that's why the Sankalpa Mantra involves Bharatakhande, Bharatavarsha, Jambudvipa, Bharatavarsha, etc. Which actually gives us an idea of what are latitude and longitude, and that's why the same mantra cannot apply when you are into another continent like America or other continents. Then we talk about the Yuga. The Kali Yuga is the least of the Yugas, and it consists of 4,32,000 years. We are on the 28th of the Kali Yuga, which means we have finished it 27 full Yuga chakras earlier, or the Mahayuga. Then Manvantara. Manvantara is actually equal to 72 Chaturyugas. A Chaturyuga consists of Satya, Treta, Dwapar, Kali, which consists of 43,32,000 years. And one Manvantara is the 100 years of a Manu. And then we talk about the name of the Manvantara. So 14 Manvantaras consists of one Kalpa, a day or a night duration of the Brahma. And then two Kalpas consist of one day of Brahma. And Brahma has 360 days of 1 year. And such 100 such years consists of the lifetime of Brahma. So what we get from this theory is that it not only gives us an idea of the time that Indian legacy has given us, but also of latitude and longitude. Beyond this, this is the theory that helps us in proving the law of relativity. The law of relativity was given by Albert Einstein, and he discovered it in 1905 and was allowed to publish it only during the 1950s. However, our ancient rishis and the Vedas have expounded it so long ago, and we've still been following it. Yeah, and we've still been following it. Yeah. And how does it prove? The law of relativity states that a person who can move in the speed of light has an age that is much has a time that is much slower than us. So just put it in the simple words. We all know that the shlokam Deepa Jyotir Janardana says that Janardana or Mahavishnu is in the form of light himself, and Brahma is a person who came from Janardana. So a particle of light also has to be a particle of light. So we can say that the law of relativity has been proved much earlier than modern sciences. Thus, I would like to say that reading our almanac and following the Sankalpa not only is just for the sake of a puja or a small duration. We are talking about sciences and relating to God at a much higher level than we think it is. And God here does not refer to just the form person we refer to in a form, but the God in the form of the formless, where all the Nirguna Bhakti that Indian sciences refer to of God being the formless and can be perceived in any form is nothing but just transfer of energy, which says that energy can neither be created nor destroyed, but can transfer from one form to another. So when you can transfer it from sound energy to light energy, you can also transfer it from the formless to form. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Sarvesham Dhanyavadaha.
Thank you so much. Next, I'll call upon Sridhar Swaminathan to present his great.
Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Namaskaraha. Sridhara Swaminathaha Maduraitaha Vachmi. My topic is environmental awareness in Shaivagama. As you all know, Shaivagama is a separate text which deals with the right from the construction of the temple until the daily routines. In that, there is a text called Ajitagama, which tells about the there is a agama called Yoga Jagama. I'm sorry, there is an agama called Yoga Jagama, which tells about the places where one should not urinate. Nowadays, we are very much concerned about the environmental science. That is, we have to keep our environmental clean and good. In order to preserve our environment, there is a verse in Yoga Jagama, Valmike cha Shivasthane Jalashraye Guru Sannidhau Vriksha Sanghe cha Gokoshthe Pathi Bhasmani Gomaye Devasthana Samipetu Nadisthane Visheshataha Shilasu Parvatagreshu Na Kuryat Shauchakam Buddhaha. Buddha, a wise man, should not urinate near the ant hill near the Shiva temple. Near one's own preceptor.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Near one's own preceptor in the midst of trees, in the Gokoshta, that is in the cow house, and on the road, and the sacred ash, and the cow dung, and in front of and near the temple, and also near the river, one should not urinate. This shows that the ancient text are very much concerned about the environmental awareness. Thanks for the opportunity. Thank you.
1 minute. What's your good name?
Sir, Dr. Sridhar Swaminathan. I am a student of Vivekananda College. You saw me.
Sridhar Swaminathan.
I am Dr. Sridhar Swaminathan, Assistant Professor of Sanskrit in Madurai Vivekananda College, sir.
Okay.
I'll call upon Afifa from Sri Kanyaka Parameshwari Arts and Science College. Afifa? Afifa? Afifa, can you hear me? Okay, next. Okay, next I'll call upon Shubha Krishnan from Madras University.
Hari Om. Can you listen?
Yeah.
Hari Om, sir.
Proceed.
सांख्यमठः, न्यायमठः, वैशेषिकमठः, प्राचीन आन्वीक्षिकी मठाः आसन्। सांख्यमठस्य प्रमुखः ग्रन्थः अस्ति सांख्यकारिका। ग्रन्थे सृष्टिकारणं, जगत् उत्पत्तिः, प्रलयः इत्यादयः अनेक विषयस्य उल्लेखनम् अस्ति। न्यायवैशेषिकमठस्य प्रमुखः ग्रन्थः अस्ति तर्कसङ्ग्रहः। तर्कसङ्ग्रहे गुरुत्वं, परमाणु, षड्रसाः, सप्तवर्णाः, वस्तूनां कारणं किम् इत्यनेन विषयस्य चर्चा भवति। सुश्रुतस्य सुश्रुतसंहिता, चरकस्य चरकसंहिता इत्यादयः ग्रन्थाः चिकित्साक्षेत्रे प्रमुखग्रन्थाः भवन्ति। आयुर्वेदः ऋग्वेदस्य उपवेदः, तस्य मुख्यत्वं वयं जानीमः एव। रामायणे लङ्कायाः वैद्यः सुषेणः सञ्जीवनी पादपात् औषधं दत्त्वा मूर्छितलक्ष्मणम् अजीवयत्। च्यवन ऋषेः च्यवनप्राशः अद्यापि प्रसिद्धम् औषधम् अस्ति। पतञ्जलि योगसूत्रे अद्यतन योगासनस्य विषये द्रष्टुं शक्नुमः। भास्कराचार्यः, वराहमिहिरः, आर्यभट्टः, ब्रह्मगुप्तः इत्यादयः महापुरुषाः अस्माकं प्राचीनाः गणितशास्त्रे प्रमुखाः आसन्। शून्यम्, अनन्तं, पैथागोरस् थियरम्, फिबोनाची सीरीस् इत्यादीनि अनेकानि अन्वेषणानि अस्माकं प्राचीनगणितज्ञाः स्वस्वग्रन्थेषु लिखितवन्तः। भास्कराचार्यस्य लीलावती ग्रन्थे पैथागोरस् थियरम् इत्यस्य उदाहरणम् अस्ति। धन्यवादः।
Thank you so much. Next, I'll call upon Anupurna. Miss Annapurna, are you there? Can you hear my voice?
Annapurna, if you're there, please unmute yourself and talk.
Ma'am, Annapurna ma'am, illing ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Next, I'll call upon Rama. No one is there. Mr. Rama, are you there? Can you hear my voice? No. Next, Muthulakshmi, Miss Muthulakshmi. Muthulakshmi, proceed with your speech, please. Miss Muthulakshmi. Now, next, Sai Krishna from RSVP Tirupati. Are you there?
Yes, I am here.
Thank you so much. Proceed.
सर्वेभ्यः नमो नमः. शुभसायं. मया यद्यत् चिन्तितं तत्सर्वं सर्वेपि उक्तवन्तः एव. महोदयः प्रथमतया उक्तवन्तः सर्वमपि. अतः किञ्चित् प्रतिपादयामि. संस्कृत अद्यतनकाले संस्कृतभाषा भाषारूपत्वेन एव स्वीक्रियते, न तु एवं रूपेण वैज्ञानिकरूपत्वेन मूल्यरूपत्वेन न स्वीकुर्वन्ति. भाषा रक्षणीया केवल इति एवं रूपेण स्वीकुर्वन्ति. वस्तुतः शास्त्रस्य व्युत्पत्तिः एव एवमस्ति. हितं शास्ति इति शास्त्रं, सर्वदा हितमेव शास्ति. अथवा वैज्ञानिकरीत्या वा मूल्यरूपत्वेन वा यथा कथञ्चिदपि हितमेव शास्त्रे. अतः उभयमपि स्वीकरणीयः. भाषा रक्षणीया चेत् अस्माकं पूर्वजैः एवमेव रचितवन्तः शास्त्राणां सर्वदा हितं कुर्युः इति. तथा वयमपि शास्त्राणां स्वीकरणे एवमेव चिन्तनीयम्. उदाहरणार्थं यथा न खलञ्जनं भक्षयेत् इति वेदेषु यथा उक्तं, सामान्यनियमः मांसभक्षणं न कुर्युः इति. एवं रूपेण वेदः शास्त्रं च हितमेव सर्वदा शास्ति. इतोपि इत्युक्ते संस्कृते मया वार्तापत्रिकायाम् एवं पठितमस्ति. चन्द्रः हिमघनः इति. हिमघनः एवं प्रतिपादितमस्ति, डैरेक्ट् वा इनडैरेक्ट् वा. यथा ज्योतिषशास्त्रे चन्द्रः शीतलस्वभावकः इति. शीतलस्य स्वभावं कस्य वर्तते इत्युक्ते जलस्य, शीतस्पर्शवत्यापः इति. तस्य घनरूपमेव चन्द्रः. पूर्वमेव उक्तं. तथा न किञ्चित् अधुना आविष्करणीयः तावदेव. शास्त्रस्य आविष्करणम् अस्माभिः कुर्युः. यथा स्टीफन् हाकिङ्ग्, तस्य सिद्धान्तः एवं वर्तते, परमाणुसिद्धान्तः. तद् पूर्वमेव तर्कशास्त्रेषु दर्शनेषु उक्तमेव. एवं रूपेण अधुना सन्ति. भाषा रक्षणीया चेत् केवल भाषारूपत्वेनैव न स्वीकरणीया, एवं प्रायोगिकरूपत्वेन, मूल्यरूपत्वेन, सांस्कृतिकरूपत्वेन स्वीकरणीयः.
साई कृष्ण, अन्म्यूट् करोतु. म्यूट् कृत्वा भाषणं क्रियते भवत्या.
श्रूयते?
इदानीमेव श्रूयते. वदतु वदतु.
क्षम्यतां,
मध्ये म्यूट् जातम्.
मध्ये म्यूट्. एवं वा? क्षम्यताम्.
आमां, वदतु 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 वदतु.
कुत्र? अस्तु. भाषा भाषारूपत्वेन स्वीकरणीया न स्वीकरणीया, केवलं प्रायोगिकरूपेण स्वीकरणीया। अस्माकं पूर्वजैः अपि एवमेव रचना कृता, शास्त्राणां वेदानां च प्रायोगिकरूपेण हितरूपत्वेन वैज्ञानिकरूपत्वेन एव रचना कृता। तादृशरूपत्वेन अस्माकमपि अस्माकं शास्त्राणामपि स्वीकरणम् एवमेव भवेत् इति मम आशा। यतोहि मया यद्यत् चिन्तितं तत्सर्वं महोदयैः उक्तवन्तः एव। यथा हिमघनः चन्द्रः इति, एतत् सर्वं श्रुतवन्तः वा पूर्वं?
श्रूयते।
Sir, many participants are there. Please finish fastly, sir. Please. Fast, sir. Excuse me, sir. Am I audible?
Hi Krishna, समाप्यतां भोः।
Sir, am I audible?
Please call upon the next participant here.
Okay.
I think
The
sir is
next
not able to hear.
participant is Dr. S. Annapurna, ma'am.
धन्यवादः।
Good evening to everyone. Am I audible to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Annapurna.
Thank you, dear. Thank you. Now, Sanskrit and science is the topic. I would like to give you few informations about Sanskrit itself is science, because the name of the language is Sanskritam, Samyak Kritam, and it is known as Deva Bhasha, and Vedas, as professors have said, are in Sanskrit. The 6 parts of Vedas, Veda Angas, Siksha, Vyakarana, Chandas, Nirukta, Jyotisha and Kalpa, all these 6 which is helpful to understand the Veda itself is scientific, because the phonetics is the one which we say the pronunciation of the letters, the words, and that is given by Panini, from which part of the body which letter comes out. Akuha visarjaniyanam kantaha ichu yashanam talu ityadi. So the pronunciation part, articulation of air, is very clearly given in Sanskrit. Then the prayatnas, the effort that you take to utter a word itself, again 2 types, Bahya, Abhyantara, that itself again scientific. Then if you go into the grammar part, when you see the dhatu, ganas, and in no other language to my knowledge is so perfectly well structured. That means dasaganaha, from which it is like exactly in the chemistry logarithm book, B block, C block, metal and non-metal, or organic, inorganic, the way they have classified, in the same way it is very perfectly classified ganas, that is the root dhatus, for which Atmanepada, active and passive, this discipline itself is scientific. Actually, science is nothing but discipline. So the language itself begins with a discipline, moves with a discipline. There is no end, of course, for the language. Then all the subject matters that which we see in the modern science is there in Sanskrit literature, in Vedas. Apart from Vedas, there are so many literary works in which all these modern science concepts are hidden, somewhere it is proficiously spoken out. Now, I would like to mention here a book named Ananda Kanda. It is sometime 7th century or 12th century, I don't remember exactly. In that, they have given about mercury, sulfur, silver, and gold. The ore, how to extract the ore, the purification of ore, and the usage of the metal. So, perfectly the lab and whatever in the present modern laboratory we see, the same instruments they have used. Now we are using it maybe in ceramic, they have used it with clay. We are using with gas, they were using it some other fuel. But the structure and everything is almost same as we have in the present laboratories. It is really wondering. Younger generation people, you should know, at least take down the name of the book, Ananda Kandam. I don't know how far it is available. It is in our institute, KSRI. The best book, and they have given the ore of metals and sulfur, zinc, and mercury also. Then come to the point of science, Ayurveda, that is medicine. In that, the present bacteria, virus, and gram positive, gram negative. If anybody is from biology group and microbiology, they will be following it very perfectly. These things are given perfectly in Charaka Samhita itself. That means the structure of the bacteria, whether it is cocci or bacilli, what is the color of the bacteria. In modern days, we are actually doing it with stain. When you do the slide with stain, you get the color gentian violet or whatever it is. Carbol fusion, we use it in the lab. So this particular violet or gentian carbol fusion, this color, I don't know how Charaka had given in Charaka Samhita. Bacteria, cocci, and so-called modern methodology, that is waterborne disease, airborne disease, all these are given with the same name, of course in Sanskrit, in Charaka Samhita. It is really wonderful, girls. You should at least know once that particular chapter of Charaka Samhita. Then comes into the pandemic, that is now. Any pandemic, that is the virus or disease that spoils or disturbs the society. For that also, he had given the reasons and how to rectify that also he had given. That of course only we are doing in Bharatadesha because of our Sanatana Dharma. Again, that itself is scientific. Day-to-day life, it is designed, and the disciplines given by the Vedas or the Dharma Shastras or the Charaka Samhita, Dinacharya or Rutucharya, whatever it is, with a discipline. And another point I would like to give you here is the modern science, that is MBBS, allopathy, is not taking up the Atma into the consideration. They give medicine, they study, of course anatomy they study very elaborately, and it is after the occurrence of the disease, the treatment. Whereas in our Charaka Samhita, it is prevention. Which is better? Then their mind is not considered. Only in for the past few years, maybe 5 to 7 years or 10 years, not definitely more than that, to my knowledge, this psychology concept is very popularly known into the society. Now they are keeping even in the schools and colleges, counseling board, and counseling means that is to help the students to solve their emotional and spiritual imbalance in their life, especially emotional balance. Whereas in Charaka Samhita, initially he says Manaha. So the mind is given importance in Charaka Samhita. The mind is given importance. When your mind is clear and pure, you cannot get any unwanted things into your mind, which will disturb your mind as well as your body, physics. So this is the way Charaka had given. That is our ancestors. Now, whatever the books we see in the literature are mostly by the sages. That is Charaka Samhita, Charaka. And what I said, Vedas and Dharma Shastra, all these things again by Rishis. Even Kavi, we say the words will wait.
Excuse me, ma'am.
To come in the mouth of the Kavi, because whatever the Kavi says, it will come true, it will occur. Yes, time over?
Yeah, ma'am.
Already
I'm
over.
sorry, ma. Thank you very much. Thank you, Durga. I think I have done my job. Thank you for giving me an opportunity.
Thank
Once
you
again.
so much, ma'am. It's our pleasure.
Namaste. Thank you.
Next, I'll call upon Bhuvaneshwari. Are you there? Bhuvaneshwari. Ms. Bhuvaneshwari, are you there? Okay. Next, I'll call upon Jayanti, ma'am. Jayanti, are you there? Okay. Madana Gopal. Mr. Madana Gopal, are you there? No. Shraddha, are you there? From Sanskrit Vishwavidyalaya, Tirupati. Are you there? No. Okay. Sir, I'm continuing, sir. Sir?
Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir.
So I think do over, is it?
Sorry, sir?
Numbers are over.
Yeah,
Competitors.
sir. Finally, me only, sir.
Anyone is there else?
No, sir.
So can we go in for the result?
Sorry, sir.
Excuse me, sir.
Rajalakshmi from Sanskrit College. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I missed it. Sorry.
Rajalakshmi. Rajalakshmi. Okay.
श्रूयते वा? श्रूयते वा?
श्रूयते.
नमस्ते. संस्कृतं विज्ञानम् इति शीर्षकं सागरतुल्यं विशालमस्ति. संस्कृते सर्वमस्ति. उदाहरणार्थं वराहमिहिरस्य बृहत् संहितायां ग्रहणविषयाः वर्षा, कृषिकार्यं, भूगोलं, वानशास्त्रं, गणितमिति विविधविज्ञानविषयाः विवरीकृताः. आकर्षणनियमः ग्राविटेशनल थियरी न्यूटन महोदयस्य पूर्वमेव बृहत् संहितायाम् उक्तम्. साहित्यशास्त्रे तु सर्वत्र विज्ञानविषयाः दृश्यन्ते. विशेषतः कालिदासस्य कृतिषु विज्ञानशास्त्रं, जीवशास्त्रं, प्रकृतिशास्त्रं कथम् अस्ति इति वयं पश्यामः. तस्य कार्येषु वृक्षाणां, फलानां, पुष्पाणाम् उपयोगता, वैद्यमाहात्म्यं च दृश्यन्ते. मृगरक्षणम् अपि तेन वर्णितम्. अभिज्ञानशाकुन्तलायां चतुर्थे अध्याये पातुं न प्रथमं व्यवस्थिति जलम् युष्मास्वपीतेषु या नादत्ते प्रियमण्डनामपि मण्डनापि भवतां स्नेहेन या पल्लवम् आद्येव कुसुमप्रसूतिसमये यस्या भवत्युत्सवः सेयं यान्ति शकुन्तला पतिगृहं सर्वैरनुज्ञायताम् इति श्लोके एतत् व्यक्तमस्ति यत् मानुषाणां प्रकृतिसम्बन्धः वर्तते एव. प्रकृतिः मानुषाणां भावान् सर्वदा प्रत्यागृह्णति एव इति। कालिदासस्य मेघदूते प्राचीनभारतस्य पर्वतानां वृक्षाणां नदीनाम् इति प्रकृतिविषयाणां विवरणं विशालदृष्ट्या कृतम्। वयं मेघदूतस्य पठने प्राचीनभारतस्य भूगोलं ज्ञातुं शक्नुमः। मृगरक्षणम् इति विषये अपि कालिदासेन बहुधा अभिद्योतते। शाकुन्तलस्य प्रथमसर्गे आश्रमवासिनः मृग्यार्थं तत्र आगतं राजानं दुष्यन्तम् एवं विज्ञापयन्ति यत् भो राजन् आश्रममृगः न हन्तव्यः रक्षणीयः एव, तदेव तवानुरूपः अस्ति इति राजा अपि स्वसन्धानं प्रतिनिवारयति। रघुवंशे प्रथमसर्गे दिलीपः वसिष्ठाश्रमे कथं नन्दिनी नाम गां पालयति इति अतिविस्तररूपे वर्णितम्। एकावस्थायां नन्दिनी रक्षणार्थं स्वप्राणान् अपि त्यक्तुं सज्जितः भवति दिलीपः। एवं न केवलं कालिदासस्य रचनासु विज्ञानमस्ति, वेदादारभ्य सर्वसंस्कृतग्रन्थेषु संस्कृतसाहित्येषु च वैज्ञानिकशास्त्रं दृश्यन्ते। अपि च यदि वयं सर्वे तस्य उपयोगं कुर्वन्तः चेत् तदा अस्माकं भारतस्य वर्धनं तदा लोकवर्धनं च अवश्यं भवति। लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु। धन्यवादः।
So much. Next IMP. This is Veena from Sri Kanaka Parameshwari Arts and Science College. So I'll start. The foundation of Indian culture is based on Sanskrit language. There is misconception about the Sanskrit language, that is, it is only the language for chanting mantras in templates or religion ceremonies. However, it is less than 5% of Sanskrit literature. More than 95% of Sanskrit literature had nothing to do with religion. And instead, it deals with philosophy, law, literature, grammar, etc. In particular, Sanskrit was the language of scientists in ancient India. Knowledge of a great scientific achievements of our ancestors and our scientific heritage will give us the encouragement and the moral strength to once again take India into the foremost of science in the modern world. Sanskrit was the language of philosophers, scientists, mathematicians. In grammar, Panini and Patanjali has no equal in the world. In astronomy and mathematics, the works of Aryabhatta, Brahmagupta, and Bhaskar opened up a new frontiers of mankind, as did the works of Chakra and Shudhat in medicine. A systematic effort was made by the foreign rulers to downgrade or degrade Indian knowledge and science in all fields, so that we ourselves began to believe that science is only from the Western origin. I conclude by saying that Sanskrit is much more related to science, or we can say that Sanskrit is science. When we follow our ancestors in scientific ideas in modernized way, we can achieve a greater grade in the world of science. Thank you. Sir?
Anyone else?
No, sir. So now we can wind up our oratorical competition.
Better. It's already too late. 7:40.
Yes, sir. Out of thanks.
We'll wind up. Are you going to declare the result today?
No, sir.
Okay.
Out of thanks. I'll complete with the out of thanks, sir.
But I have a request before you conclude the session with the vote of thanks.
Okay.
Durga, I have a request for you. Don't organize
Yes, ma'am.
two program per day, yeah? Because sir is also becoming old. He has to sit for such a long time, and I am also becoming old. A student, I am also becoming old. I am also not able to sit for such a long time. Please consider the request.
Okay, ma'am. I will send
two program per day.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you, ma.
Thanks. pleasure to deliver the vote of thanks. Firstly, I would like to thank a resource person of the day, respected Dr. R. Tyagarajan sir, who came here to grace us with his wonderful knowledge despite his busy schedule. Thank you so much, sir, for being here and gracing us our time. Next, I would thank our college management and respected correspondent sir, Mr. Bugilan Ramesh, and our beloved principal, Dr. T. Mohaneshri ma'am, and vice principal, Dr. P.B. Vanitha, and coordinator of IQAC, Dr. Napinai ma'am, academic vice principal. And I would thank our respected head of the department, Mrs. Durga Devi ma'am, who always support us and lead us with her positive thoughts and thinking, makes us more colorful in every session and every day. Thank you so much, ma'am. Last but not the least, I thank all our amazing participants from various college to support us, and you are the flower in the garden. You are like a flower in the garden. So I would also like to thank all the supporting pillars who made this day more successful. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. And thank you all for attending this webinar. Thank you so much.
Thank you.